So where does wood come from? Tree makes it. Kind of everybody knows that. That's what trees do. Of course, different trees, the wood, the timber has different properties. Ash being very flexible and relatively lightweight when it's seasoned, and hazel being best used when it's very, very small, and best used green, unseasoned, still alive basically. But basically the plant makes it by photosynthesis. So what is photosynthesis? And how do you get from leaves to wood? Obviously the plant grows, but you can break it down a little bit more than that. So this is a summary of photosynthesis, which happens in the leaves. These are the leaves of a bay tree, one of the few plants in my garden which is, what's the word, evergreen. So this is what happens. The plant takes carbon dioxide and water, carbon dioxide from the air and also water from the ground, and then uses sunlight via a very clever molecule called chlorophyll to turn it into this molecule here, which is glucose, which is the basic sugar that all our bodies need to be alive, basically, to break down for energy. And as a byproduct of that, it produces 6 molecules of oxygen, which are released to the atmosphere, although it does use some of the oxygen for its own respiration. So respiration, which is breathing that we do, taking glucose, making energy, releasing energy, and releasing carbon dioxide and a little bit of water, happens in our lungs. So we breathe in oxygen to use for respiration to break this down, and then we give off carbon dioxide, and that we breathe out. Too much carbon dioxide and we keel over and die. So 6 carbon dioxide molecules. This is a carbon dioxide molecule. That's a water molecule. Pretty much everyone knows water is H2O. So 6 of those makes 1 of those molecules, giving off 6 oxygen molecules, which is the source, basically, photosynthesis, of all the oxygen in the atmosphere that we breathe and we need to survive. So how does that translate into wood? So that's a glucose molecule, and that's a representation of it. It's not how it actually is in life. It's a bit more complicated than that, but you can think of it like that. That's an oxygen. All these here are carbons. This is also an oxygen, and you see it forms a ring like this. And basically, to break it down, you have to break this ring and turn it into C with 2 oxygens. So you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of that. And there's also another carbon here on this side branch. You can elaborate that, and the plant does, to make things like starch and also sucrose. Think of that just as sugar, like sugar cane. And those are basically called storage compounds. But you can also turn that by putting in more energy, again deriving from photosynthesis, to turn it into this. So this large nightmare, you can see, is actually built out of these glucose molecules. And there's a lot of energy gone into making this. This is an end, and then the cellulose molecule is a very, very long chain, so multiples of these. So there's another one of those there within this brackets, there, there, and there, all the way along. And there's a lot of energy bound up in that, but this itself is relatively stable. Mammals like us and insects cannot break down cellulose and other even more elaborate molecules that the plant then makes from cellulose. So we can't eat wood, for instance. If you're a cow, you can break cellulose, but not without your fungal symbiont, which lives in the chambers of your stomach, to break that down again to produce glucose, which you can then use for energy. So cellulose is very, very persistent unless you get the fungi in. And this is where we get back to sporting. You can just see that starting here. And that's the process of the fungi getting into the wood to break it down again to produce your carbon dioxide and energy and some water. So that's basically a very, very brief summary of photosynthesis and how it works to build up cellulose, which is the basic fuel of your firewood. And there are places you can go on the internet and you can spend hours and hours and hours looking that up, how that actually works. And the actual cellular processes within the plant leaf, and within the cells of the plant, and within the chloroplasts, which is where you find the photosynthesis, are absolutely fascinating. But rather complicated, and it's rather a miracle of biology that this process actually exists and supports us all.